Hey guys, Gathering the Magic back again, and this is part two of the market update for July 14th, 2024. The first part we went through were basically just all the numbers. This time I kind of want to take a little bit of a deeper dive and just kind of show each card, not just the price, but also let's take a look at how many of the cards are in circulation and then how many are printed that are left in circulation. So starting as we always do with Alpha, these are Alpha Commons. So our 20 Alpha Commons available in the set, and they range from 15 cents all the way up to 85. Now this has changed actually quite a bit in the last couple of months. We had gotten to the point where the cheapest Alpha Commons were right around that 48 to 55 cent range. Now you can see that almost all of them are under 50 cents. So the only ones that are above 50 cents are the Flesh Golem, Cobalt Miner, Crustacean King, Feral Spirit, and Giant Rock. So this is the one that's kind of the outlier. Giant Rock is usually one of the cheaper ones, but as you can see, if you look at the number that are listed on the market, there's only 11. So that's probably part of the reason why this is a little bit higher, is someone did a buyout and then just listed a few copies at a higher price. But typically these have been selling, like I said, between 45 cents, maybe 80, 85 cents for the top cards if there isn't any kind of a buyout. As you can see, the print run on these are extremely low. For a common, there's only roughly about 5,000 or fewer copies of each of these cards in existence. Another note, you don't need as many of these cards to level to max as you do with some of the later sets. If we take a quick look, go to stats, you only need 379 to max one out as opposed to 400. But the main thing to look at is like level 5, which is your max silver level. For a common, you usually need 60 in a newer set. Here you only need 19. So if you're looking at building up your deck, let's say you're playing in silver, 19 copies can be a lot more affordable than 60. So if you're playing in Wild, Alpha could be something that you want to definitely check out, especially at these prices. Okay, so these are your commons. For your rares, looks like your rares are basically in the 2,000 to 3,000 range. As you can see, the numbers on the market, single digits for a lot of these, 20, 12, not very high. Every once in a while you'll get one like Serpentine Soldier, there's 55. But other than that, as you can see, there's pretty much 30 or fewer copies of all these rares on the marketplace. One thing to take a note of are summoners. So alpha summoners, I mean, look at this. You can get alpha summoners for under $2. You can get Zintar, you can get Tyrus, you can get Lil Lyanna for $1.45 or less. So even Ulrich, for the +1 magic summoner, $5.65. But once again, look at the low number that are actually on the marketplace, especially Zintar. There's only 4 copies available. So these are cards that if you're just a collector looking to, just get one of each alpha card, maybe a good time to pick these up. Checking out epics. So now your epics, you're getting in just over 1,000 to about, looks like 1,300 for amount in circulation. As far as number on the market, once again, look, 10, 12, 11 or less. So not many of these cards on the market. And price is reasonable for most of them. I mean, most of them are $2 to $5. Swamp Thing is sitting there at just under 18, and there's only one copy of the Screaming Banshee, so that's why this is $224. If this was not a buyout, Screaming Banshee, you'd probably be looking at, $3 to $5 for this card. So, but still, considering that this is the first set ever made for Splinterlands, these are the alphas, very low price in my opinion. And then looking at legendaries, ranging from $28 to $125. And once again, very low liquidity on the market, less than 10 copies of any of these cards. And then look at the print run too, right around 400 cards available. So if you're someone like me that believes in long-term viability of Splinterlands, I don't think this game is going anywhere, even though there's, a lot of salt in the community. For me, Alpha, first set, when I get the funds, I'm definitely going to pick up more of these cards. So that is Alpha. Let's take a look at Beta. Well, actually, before we do that, we need to look at the gold foils. So the gold foil cards for the commons, a couple months ago, the floor was right around $19, $20. It's come down a little bit since then. You actually have a couple cards under 15. Both, I think, very useful cards. The Goblin Sorcerer with that 2 magic damage and Sneak, and then the Divine Healer. One thing to look at, guys, is these are level 4, not level 3. So alpha and I believe beta, if you get a gold foil, it starts off at level 4, not level 3, which can make a big difference as far as abilities are concerned and just overall power level. So you get a level 4 is better than a level 3. Once again, very low liquidity, not many of these on the market, 10 or less. People that own these probably have them on land. So looking at the gold foil rares, now you're getting cards that they're just over 100 of each available, and lowest price $84 for the Frozen Soldier, up to single copies up here, and you can see Malric is they're asking $4,000. Generally, I would say these probably are going to go to the $100 to $200 range, more than likely. Once you start getting 1 copy or 2 copies, people can just kind of ask whatever price they want. But to me, like Ulrich is probably the most powerful rare in the set. He's sitting at 179, only 1 copy. Cerberus, $200. So to me, right around $200 is a good price, or a reasonable price for these cards at this time. So anything above that is people just fishing to see if they can get someone to buy the card at their price. Gold foil epics. Now you can see there's fewer of these even on the market. Less than 100, actually less than 80 of any of these were printed that are in circulation. Just a couple copies of most all these cards, ranging from basically 300 to just under $900. And then looking at legendaries, I covered this earlier. There's only 2 available. A single copy of Lord of Darkness. There's only 21 in existence. They're asking $7,500. And Elemental Phoenix, there's only 17 in existence, and they're asking $155,000. Looking at the promo cards. So the promo cards, they had 1 of each rarity, and they range from $4.66 for the common up to just under $1,500 for the legendary. You can see the print runs here. A lot lower, of course, than the regular versions that were not promos, but still, not too outrageous of a price other than Shinlo, $1,500. And then looking at the gold foil, there's only a common and rare gold foil available. The common Dragon Wealth, they're asking $70, and the rare, they're asking $199. So there are your alpha cards. Now for beta, I like looking at just the core and reward cards to start. So for your commons, you can see, let's go just so it makes it a little bit clearer. If you look at the reward cards, you can see for the commons, there's like 40 to 50, even 60,000 of each of some of these in regular foil. But if you compare that to the core set, now you're looking at 15 to 17,000 for the most part. So, there's a lot of them out there, but if Splinterlands really is pushing the new player experience, wants to grow the player base, if we get I think even like 300 or 400 new players that want to play in Wild or want to get some of these older cards, 300 or 400 people is not a lot of people, and I don't think outrageous to think that at some point we're going to get that many new people into the game. And if we do, simply for looking at older cards, there's just not enough out there. And I've said it before, and I'm just going to keep saying it. When you look at the market and you see these prices for under $1 for these cards, you look at how many were printed. Yeah, there's a lot printed, but there's not a lot listed. And it doesn't matter if there's 12,000 printed or 112,000 printed. If there's none on the market to buy, these prices are going to appreciate. So just something to keep in mind. But yeah, looking at the beta cards for the commons, we're looking at 2 cents up to 43 cents for the Spineback Turtle. This one's kind of an outlier. I think usually the highest are like the Crustacean King, Divine Healer, the Shaman, Spineback Turtles, I think a little bit overpriced at this point. But look at the liquidity of how many are actually on the market. You're in the teens, 20s, 30s. Spineback Wolf is 77. Pirate Captain 134, but other than a couple of cards, you're looking at 20s and 30s, and these are for commons. These aren't, the most desirable or the rarest of the rare, and there's just not many out there. Okay, checking out the rares, your cheapest rare, Stone Splitter Orc, you're looking at 14 cents. Now you're looking at, 5 to 8,000 of each of these in existence. Most expensive actually is not Ulrich. Ulrich, there's a copy sitting there at 361. This was mentioned earlier. This is a card I know that Boba Fett's kind of been eyeing. So if you look to see how many are out there, there's not very many. So 361 is kind of deceiving. You're like, oh, that's kind of cheap. There's one copy at that price. After that, it jumps to 7. So let's look at BCX too. So you've got 3 single BCX on the market total for this card. 3. After those are gone, then it jumps to level 4 where you're going to have to spend at least $45 to pick these things up. So there's not very many of these on the marketplace. One copy really won't do you a lot of good. I mean, yes, you can play the card, but you need it at least level 2. If you want to play Max Bronze, which takes 3 cards. So if you're someone that's looking to just, hey, I just want to play, I want to have a Max Bronze wild deck, you buy these 3 cards, you combine it so you can play. It's going to cost you under 20 bucks. There's none available for anyone else. That's how few of these there are. I'm going to keep saying it, guys. Not many on the market. I know people were saying, oh, there's way too many cards out there. Maybe you're thinking Chaos Legion, and I would agree with you, but a lot of the other sets, there's just not that many out there. Okay, let's look at epics. So epics, you're looking at cards basically around, let's say 1,600 to 2,000, low 2,000s in print run, ranging anywhere from 50 cents for the Raging Impaler, up to a couple of the summoners that you're sitting at, 10 bucks. He's kind of the outlier. Other than that, you're looking at just over 3. So 50 cents to 3 bucks, and you can get a epic card from Beta. And then your legendary cards, 6 bucks cheapest for Lightning Dragon. And this is a card I've kind of kept an eye on for the last few months since I've done the Marketwatch, Valnamore. Typically he's been 150 bucks. There was a period a couple of months ago where he dropped down to about 75 for a couple of my updates. He was 75, 85, went back to 150. Now he's up to 275. But once again, this is kind of deceiving because this is not a single BCX that's 275. The reason you're seeing that price once this load is that 275 is for a 5 BCX copy. So that's only $55 per BCX. But the thing is, there are no single copies of him available on the marketplace. Single copies of him, like I said, had been going for 150, but now those are all gone. So it's either one for a gold deck, or you've got 6 available that are maxed out, but they're going to cost you over $500. So keep that in mind. And actually not bad prices for some of the other ones. Cryptmancer 25, Prince Renan 30, Plato 18. Decent prices for these considering these are betas, and there are less than, 700 for the most part, 800 of each. So those are your regular foils. Let's look at gold foils. So gold foil betas, cheapest common, $1.74 for the animated corpse, up to 32 bucks for the Elven Cutthroat. Once again, not very many on the marketplace. A lot of people are probably have these on land, and you're looking at 1,000 or less of each of these. You get up to the rares. Now you're looking at just under 9 bucks for the Enchanted Pixie, to $76 for the Undead Priest. Print runs under 500, looks like 300 to 500 range for beta rares. So you can see just a few of these on the market. Let's look at epics. So your epics, now you're up to just under $37 for the Raging Impaler. Most expensive is Mischievous Mermaid at 700, single copy there. Print run, these are epics. Look, less than 100 of this epic. So under, what's the most here? 128 is the most. Just unbelievably low numbers. Legendaries, we're looking at $4.99 for Selena Sky, 64 in circulation. This is the only one listed on the market. And Valnamore, there are 2 copies available on the market. Cheapest one right here is $4,000, and there are only 49 in existence. Now, this does not mean 49 single BCX. This does not mean 49 max copies. This is a mixture, but there are 49 cards total in existence. Okay, now let's look at some of the promo cards. So your promo cards for your common, the one card I've mentioned a lot, Delwyn Dragon Scale, kind of cool because he is a common, he's a summoner, and he is dragon. So it's kind of nice to be able to get a cheap dragon summoner if you want. 505 copies to max one out is, you know, a lot, but if you're not looking to max one out, you just want max silver, only takes 25 copies. So 25 copies, you know, about what, 40 cents or less a copy. So only 25 on the market though. So, oh, actually he's spiked 64 cents. So when I did this earlier today, it was like 40 some cents, and I don't know if it's because of my Marketwatch, but now he's up to 64. So someone purchased a lot of cheaper ones. Yeah, this market can change, you know, hour to hour. In the amount of time it takes me to go through, you know, write down all of the prices for the cards, upload the video, prices can change drastically on some of these. So there's the common, and just under $6 for the gold foil. For the rare, Dragonling Bowman, 15 cents, and the gold foil just under 15. Your epic, Fiendish Harpy, 99 cents, gold foil, 85, only 2 available. And then for the legendaries, you've got the Red Dragon, normal copy, 840. He's been consistently around 10 bucks. Last month or so, he's come down a little bit. 22 copies available on the market. Only 1 gold foil. They're asking 700. And the other legendary promo cards, Archmage Arius, just over $700 for available, and Prince Julian for $32.10. Okay, there's beta. Since we're already here, let's take a look at orbs. So orbs is a very small set, so this will be quick. So your regular cards are usually 3 to 10 or 12 cents. Armorsmith, 15 cents isn't too unreasonable, but the Goblin Chef is usually one of those 3, 4, 5 cent cards. So the reason he's 29 cents, I would say don't buy this. Wait for it to come down. He'll come back down to 10 cents or less. For the gold foils, Armorsmith, surprisingly, he should be the most expensive regular common, but as far as the gold foils go, he's the cheapest. So if you're looking to pick one up, at least me personally, I'd rather have a level 4 at $2. That's a gold foil. That's going to give me that 10% bonus. And I believe it will also get the 5% beta bonus on top of it, you know, as opposed to the regular version. Your rares, looking at 15 cents for the Undead Archer, up to 20 cents for the Electric Eels. And then for the gold foil, the Bard is basically 11 bucks, up to 11.88 for the Electric Eels. Your epics, Dwarven Wizard, Mermaid Healer. For a while, these cards were $2.50 to $4, right in that range. They've come down in the last month and a half. Now they're, you know, very affordable. I picked up a Dwarven Wizard a couple weeks ago just to have a copy of it in my deck. When I play in Wild, I like playing, you know, I like having more Magic cards available for the neutral only rule set. So I'd like to get more copies, but glad to have at least one to play with. And Mermaid Healer is another card I picked up as well, just to have a copy to play with the triage. 2 copies of the Dwarven Wizard in gold foil at just under $1,100. And then your legendary cards. No regular foil Minotaur Warlords, kind of surprising. Lord of Fire is under $4. Corrupted Pegasus at $15.30. You can see the print runs here, 900 or less of each of these in existence. And then when you get to the gold foil legendaries, you're looking at, there's only 53 copies of the Corrupted Pegasus, only 42 of Lord of Fire, and 39 of Minotaur Warlord. Okay, so that's Orb. Let's look at Untamed, Core and Reward cards. Let's look at the regular foil commons. Once again, these are going to be cheap, you know, penny for the cheapest one. I like looking at which ones are the highest, you know, at the top of the list. and see if the same cards are there, week to week. Typically, the top two are usually the Serpentine Spy and the Failed Summoner. For a while, the Failed Summoner was 50 to 90 cents. So he's come down to 11 cents. So if you are playing in Wild and looking to pick up some cheap commons for Untamed, Serpentine Spy, Failed Summoner, 7 cents, 11 cents. This is a fantastic card, Serpentine Spy. I'm trying to remember, it was a year or so ago. I just remember this card being like $2 per PCX, $1.50, $2 each, and now it's 7 cents. So definitely two very good cards to get. Parasitic Growth, another great card at 10 cents. Flame Monkey when it's higher, 44 cents. And you can see this is kind of the outlier. Other than Flame Monkey, your next highest is 15 cents for the Cobalt Bruiser. This should be more of a base card. This should be more of a 3 to 5 cent card, not one of the more expensive ones. So some of these, are kind of out of whack prices from what they typically are. Looking at your rares. So Temple Priest, one of the reward cards, sitting at the cheapest at 4 cents. You can see the print runs between the reward cards were around 40,000, and then the base set where you're looking at 12 to 15,000. But 4 cents is the cheapest, and then you go all the way up to, and this is kind of an outlier, Elven Mystic at $3.90. Usually the most expensive rare is going to be under $1, but look, there's only 4 for sale. So this was obviously a buyout. Someone bought them and then just relisted them higher. One thing I like to look at also are the summoners. So these are the rare summoners for Untamed, and as you can see, very low prices. So if you guys are looking, once again, to start building up your Wild deck, if you're playing in Wild, and you need some summoners, decent prices if you can get summoners for basically most of these for 25 cents or less. Okay, moving on to epics. So your epics, cheapest one, 15 cents. A lot of these are, the reward ones, 13, 14,000. The base set, you're looking at around 5,000 print run. Most expensive is the Goblin Fire Mage at just under $2 at $1.90. Other than that, you're looking at basically $1. So 15 cents up to $1 will get you an epic card for Untamed. Some great cards here: Lobstradamus, Axemaster, Coral Wraith, War Chang, Sporcerer, a lot of very good cards. And then legendaries, ones everyone likes to look at for Kitty. $1.15 for Spirit Drew Grog. And then Kitty, what is she at this week? 53.50. So 2 weeks ago she was sitting at 70. Now it's come back down to 53.50. So still holding above 50 bucks. Card I picked up today for my wife and I were a copy of Kron. We never had a copy. This had been anywhere recently for right around 11 bucks up to 16, 17, right in that range for the last couple 3 months. So when it dipped under 10, I picked up a couple copies of that today. Jotun sitting at 30 bucks, Llama sitting at just under 40. Cornelius has been bouncing between 15 and 21.22, so this is actually a good price as compared to where he has been recently. But the thing that's kind of surprising to me is, like, okay, these are, of course, the better legendary summoners, but some of the cheaper ones you can still pick up for, just over 11 bucks. So if you're looking to get some legendary summoners for some other splinters, anywhere from Lear, going just above 10 to Mimosa for 11.29, don't overlook those cards as well if you're looking to round out your deck. Promo cards. Halfling Alchemist had drifted down to, I think, under $1.50 about a month ago, and last week it had bounced above $5, so it looked like there was some kind of a buyout there. Now it's settled back down to $3. The Chain Golem for a while was in the mid-20s to 30, and I thought, okay, maybe this is the normal price, but it's come down quite a bit in the last month and a half. Now you can see he's under 7. And the Mighty Dricken, very few copies of this promo card, and they're asking $1,000. Looking at the gold foil for Halfling Alchemist, 72, and Chain Golem, only a single copy for 80 bucks. And let's look next at dice, because there's a couple cards in dice I want to bring to your guys' attention. Okay, and it's not the commons, but one thing I wanted to point out, the commons are basically 1 to 4, 1 to 5 cents. Goblin Dartling must have been a buyout. I don't know why this card is 39 cents. Don't pay 39 cents for that card. Looking at the rare, Mylor. Mylor down to just above $1. So $1.10 for Mylor. Let's see how many are available at that price. So there's one available at $1.10. There's a decent amount available for under $2. So how many are available? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So there's 21 copies at $1.50 or less. And then that's pretty much it. So even though that price is low, if you want to pick one up, you can pick one up. But if you want to pick up enough to level to a decent amount, you're not even going to have enough to get them to level 4. But if you're looking for a level 3 Mylor, you can probably pick one up for around 20 bucks if you want to basically take all the cards off the market. Another card I wanted to bring to your attention is Lorna Shine at 61 cents. Decent price here. Bright and Bloom, so popular for the Earthquake rule sets. 85 cents. Only 7 available though. Let's take a quick look at this card. Let's just see how many there are. BCX wise, 3 single copies. Look at this, 85 cents, then $1.67, then it jumps a single copy to $8.45. Then you get a 3 BCX one for $2.57, 5 BCX for $8, 7 BCX for $6.87, and then 14 BCX for $12. The problem is you need 115 to max one out, so there's not even enough BCX if you bought all of them to get this anywhere near a max level. But the fun part, let's look at the gold foils. This is what I thought was the buy of the week. So to me, going through the Marketwatch, this to me is the buy of the week. If you guys are looking for cards from older sets that are affordable, Lorna Shine recently has been $10, $11 for a gold foil, which I thought was a great deal. You can get one for $5. And even Mylor. I mean, I think we all remember when Mylor was way above this price for a regular foil. Now you can get a gold foil for around 14, not too bad. Bright and Bloom for 7. But to me, Lorna Shine, this is the card of the week, sitting there at $5. I don't expect it to be there very long. And even Ouster. People don't talk about Ouster, but Magic Reflect, very useful ability, and he's sitting there at under 5. Okay, so Untamed. Let's go on to Epics. So your Epics, 21 to 82 cents. Gold foils, 11 to 14. And your legendary cards, $3, just over $3 for the cheapest legendary, up to the main two are usually Crawlus and Epona. Crawlus, 20 bucks-ish. Seems to be the normal price. And Epona, this is kind of high. I think it's usually 50 to 60, so 85 is kind of high for this card. And then you can see for gold foils, no Epona available in gold foil. Gold foil Crawlus, just under $500. And a gold foil Cthulhu sitting at $600. Okay, so that's it for Untamed. Now Chaos Legion. Yes, the set that people say is overprinted. Let's burn it all. Let's get rid of it. There's millions of them available. And I agree, except for the fact that if we want thousands and thousands of players in this game and they want to play Modern, they're going to suck these things up really quick. Yes, there's a lot on the market, almost 1,000, 1,800, but people keep saying, hey, we need to get 2, 3, 5, 10,000 new players. Let's say we get 1,000 new players. There's not enough cards for these people to level them up, even to get them to max silver. But going by what we have right now, cheapest is 1 penny for the common. Going on up to, just look at regular foils for now, 11 cents for Scavo Hireling. So pretty much you can pick up Chaos Legion cards, build your deck, play in Modern, just build up your commons very, very cheaply. Looking at the rares, which will include some of your summoners, 2 cents are the cheapest. And then they range all the way up to, let's look at the summoners, 27 cents for Kelia, 19 cents for Thaddeus Brood, 17 cents for Tarsa, 16 cents for Obsidian, General Sloan sitting at 11 cents, and actually the Zenith Monk has surpassed General Sloan. Zenith Monk is sitting there at 14 cents. so many great cards in Chaos Legion, and must-have cards if you're playing a modern. Besides the summoners, obviously, Demon Shark, Curse Wendigo, the Guardian, the Striker, the annoying Arbalist, unless you're playing that card, Time Mage, a lot of great cards. So let's go on to the epic cards. So your epics, you're ranging from 8 cents for the Insidious Warlock and Uraeus, all the way to Magi of Chaos has been the most expensive epic for a while. Now he's drifted down to 22 cents, and actually the most expensive is Grund, sitting there at 28. But still, 28 cents for an epic is not bad at all. And then looking at your legendaries, your cheapest legendary cards, you're looking at just under 40 cents. So you've got a few cards now at 39 cents. Oshana's sitting at 42. A Fiend sitting there at 42 cents. I still need to pull some funds together and do a massive buyout of these Fiends. I just love these cards, and they're all, under 63 cents now. Ugh, need to get some more funds and get some more Fiends. I don't think they're going to reprint any zero-cost cards anytime soon, and they're just so useful. So, even a single copy of each of these, I think, is almost a must-have. So ranging in 39 cents all the way up to, and this has changed from earlier today. Earlier today, the most expensive was actually Bakjira. I believe it was close to $5, and it had surpassed Immortalis. Last few months, Immortalis and Possibilis have been the most expensive cards in the set for the legendaries, and they've kind of flip-flop positions from 1 and 2. But now you've got Bakjira up there as well. A lot of the legendary summoners, as you can see, are right around that $2 range, so very affordable for new players to start growing your collection. If we look at the gold foil for Chaos Legion, looking at 13 to 15 cents for some of the cheaper ones, up to $1.45 for the Scavo Hireling. One thing I wanted to point out, remember when Pelacor Bandit was like, oh, there's way too many of them, the reward card? Sitting at 30 cents. Now, for quite a while, this was like, in the 15, 17, 20 cent range. Take a look at how few of these cards there are at max level. So if you go to max level, look at the Pelacor Bandit. It's actually under $10 now. I think last time I looked at this, it was around 15. But still, there's only 7 max copies available on the marketplace. There's 41,000 of these things out there, but there's only 7 on the market that are max level. So if you're someone that's looking to fill out your land plots and you're like, hey, I'm just going to go with gold foil commons, depending on the splinter that you're looking for, there's really not a whole lot of them out there. I mean, look at 3 copies, 2, single copy supply runner. So it looks like a lot of people, myself included, have snagged a bunch of these cheaper ones, and they're starting to become more and more rare. Okay, looking at the rare cards, your rare gold foils for Chaos Legion, 58 cents is the cheapest. Moving up to your summoners. So your summoners are basically going to go from $2 to $3 for a gold foil summoner from Chaos Legion. And then moving on to epics, the card that I love to put these things on land. I just like them because you only need 10 copies to max one out, and for every level BCX that you have, it costs you 1,000 DEC to put it on land, so they're just very nice round numbers. Your cheapest one, $2.50 for the Jim Meteor, and then $10 for Jin Chihuahua. This one I bought a lot of because I have a lot of plots that can use either Life or Dragon. This was one of the cheaper ones for a while, but now you can see he's back up to 10. So other than him and Grund, you're looking at $2.50 to $4 for a gold foil epic, and then these are kind of the outliers. Once again, not a lot of these on the market. You need 10 of these to max one out. So you can see you're in the single digits to under 20 for most of these cards. And then finally, for the gold foil legendary cards, Legionnaire Elvire, sitting at just under $16, is your cheapest. Let it load the correct picture. So you can see, even though they printed so much Chaos Legion, there's under 1,000 of each of these gold foil legendaries, except for the reward cards, of course. But you're looking at $16, $17 for the cheapest. All the way up to your most expensive this week currently is Quicks. So Quicks is sitting at 86, 3 copies available. But other than that, it drops from 86 down to 49 is the most expensive for Immortalis. $34 basically for a gold foil Lily. Conqueror Yasik for 30. You know, to be able to get a gold foil legendary card for around 30 to 40 bucks, I think is pretty awesome. And even Grandmaster Wrath, you know, get him for 23. You've got a gold foil legendary summoner. So there is Chaos Legion. Let's also look at the promo cards. So let's look at the regular. So your common ones, the bear, he's sitting at 5 cents. The gold foil at 77. Vruz is sitting at 11 cents. The gold foil is $1. And then for your legendaries, make the list a little bit easier to see. Oshur, 650, but look at the gold foil. 295, only 2 copies available. So this is one of the cards that really jumped this week compared to the last time I did the Market Watch. Dr. Blight has come down a few cents from when I recorded this earlier. He's down to an even $9, just under $50 for the gold foil. Zerial has dropped even further. From when I recorded earlier, it's down under 10. It's at $9.55. But the gold foil is sitting at pretty good price, 230 bucks. Waka, 148.50, and Lux Vega. This week it's a little bit low. It seems to hover between 175 and 225 for Lux Vega, and no gold foil Lux Vegas on the market. And then Rift Watchers, which I always call the Forgotten set. For your commons, 1 to 8 cents for your commons, very small set. The rares, which I think are some of the, I think this set has the strongest overall rares of any Splinterlands set. If you look at all of these cards, there's not very many of them that are like filler cards or unplayable cards. Even cards like, you know, Sunday Shaman, you know, to be able to buff that up to a 3 and you're doing 9 damage every other round is useful. Stuns, amplifies, Queen of Crows, we know how good that card is. Corsair Boson, Tinderlock, the stun with Techno-Wizologist. You know, there's just a lot of very good, useful cards in the rare rarity for Rift Watchers. Then epics, of course, are your summoners. A lot of these summoners have been kind of frowned on. They all have their place. They all have their use cases. They range. Dallin is actually under 20 cents now. He's at 19. And then Ilthane had been under $2, and now it's bounced back up to $2.13. And then finally, your legendary cards range for just over $1 for Runemancer, $2 for Ra, up to your more powerful ones. Inevitable is sitting at just under 24, Immolation at 15, and then after that, Crec has taken kind of a drop. It was right around, you know, $10 to $15, and now it's down under 8. So, you know, as the market continues to soften for you know, cards overall, there are some cards that are still holding its value, and then there are other cards that I feel are pretty good deals. Like I use Ra a lot in my deck, so $2 is a very good price to me, and I might be picking some more up to level him up. So now let's look at the gold foil versions. So your commons, looking at 19 cents up to Ash Mirage had been the most expensive at between $1 and $1.50 recently, but now it's Time Meddler, so this is starting to get some love, and then sitting there at $1.10. Your rares, 73 cents up to $3 for the Kabbalist. Your epics, which are your summoners, even though Dallin is the cheapest regular foil at 19 cents, the gold foil, he's third from the top. He's $6 a piece, so he's twice what a Quadus is. And Ilthane is sitting there at $12.74. Once again, look at how few of these are on the market if you're looking to get these cards. And then your legendaries, Mortius sitting at 25, and the most expensive, you're looking at Inevitable at 190, Crec at 150, and then it drops down to 67.50 for Agor Longtail. So once again, very good legendary cards here, very low print runs, very few amount of these on the marketplace, and you can see the prices. Okay guys, we'll wrap this up by looking at Rebellion. So let's just look at the core Rebellion cards. So for commons, you know, pretty much 1 to 5 cents are going to be the low end for your common cards, but now you're looking at 4 to 5 cents for commons for Rebellion, all the way up to, it had been the Summoners had been the most expensive, but now it's actually the Soldier sitting here at 30 cents. So he is your most expensive common card. Looking at your rares, 13 cents is your cheapest Rebellion rare. All the way down to Moxie and Rebel and Avina the Wolf, which continue to be the top two rares. Avina the Wolf has come down to actually under $1, so this had been $1.10 to $1.50 range. Moxie and Rebel had been as high as $2.50 recently, so pretty good price on both of these cards if you're looking to add these to your deck. Epics, you're sitting at 75 cents for the cheapest, up to, and this is a buyout, Captain Fellblade. Do not pay $10 for this card. This should be a $2.50 card. As you can see, there's only 3 on the market, so someone bought these out and is fishing to see if anyone will buy them for $10. And then your legendary cards, your cheapest, $3.25, up to Venka the Vile at $24. Earlier in part 1 of the Market Watch, I went card by card for some of the more expensive ones and how they have tracked recently. So please check out the first part of the video if you haven't done so already. And then let's look at the gold foils and the promo cards to wrap this up. So your cheapest gold foil common, 70 cents. Has come down in the last couple of months, you know, for quite a while. It was over $1 for your cheapest gold foil common. They were $1.20 to $1.50 for the cheapest one. Now you're looking at 70 cents up to $3.99. So the Summoners have been right in that $2 to $4 range for the gold foil common Summoners. Your rares for gold foil, you're looking at $3, just over $3 for your cheapest, up to Moxie and Rebel at $15.35. And if actually Avina the Wolf is number 4 in this list, it's not second. But Avina the Wolf is just under $10 at $9.60. Only a single copy of Blackmore Nymph gold foil on the market for $9.99. So even though Rebellion is the newest set, you would think, okay, this is going to get flooded on the market. You know, the newest set, people are going to buy the packs, they're going to open them, they're going to dump them on the market. But because of the battle wagons, and people are just not buying packs, if you watch part 1, you could see that Rebellion pack sales have really slowed down. There's not a lot of people buying and opening these cards. Epics, $20 for the cheapest gold foil epic, up to a couple ridiculous prices, $165 and $159. These are kind of outliers. As you can see, they're both single copies. These were buyouts, and then people listed them this highly. If you kind of ignore this, this is kind of the normal range they have been, between $20 and $30. So these are your normal, quote unquote, normal prices at this time for gold foil epics at Rebellion. And then the legendary cards, as I just said, this is the newest set. You know, this should be the most open, the most put on the market. Look at how few gold foil legendary cards there are for Rebellion. You know, less than 150 copies on the market. And now look at not only 150 in circulation. Now look how few are actually on the market. 2, 1, 3. The most is Cryptic at 16. You take Cryptic out of there, a lot of these, there's only 1 or 2 copies available of these on the marketplace. So people that have these are not putting them up for sale. There's not very many available. And like I said, guys, there's not a lot of people buying these packs. I mean, we've sold under 950,000 packs. Who knows how many more packs are going to sell between now and the end of Rebellion. I don't think it's going to be another 900,000. You know, maybe it's another 200,000 or 300,000. So let's say there's another 300,000 open. There's already been 900,000. So you're going to get probably another third of these in circulation. So if you've got 120, let's say there's going to be another maybe 40 that are open between now and the end of Rebellion. You're looking at well under 200 of each of these cards that are going to be in circulation. And that's not including, you know, okay, how many are actually going to be put up for sale. You know, there's 125 ranges in circulation, but there's only 1 for sale. So if you want these cards, you either have to pay these ridiculous prices, or you have to go out, buy some packs, and hope you get lucky. Okay, so let's wrap this up with the promo cards. Waiting for this to load. Let's look at regular foil. So your regular foil, your two rares, Henchling Enforcer is at 70 cents. Grimbarden Smith has come down a little bit from when I recorded this earlier. Earlier today he was an even $3. Now he's down to $2.89. Baron Fiat has come down under 5. He's at $4.78. And Manthroth, I think it's gone up a little bit since earlier today. 2 weeks ago he was in the 30s, low 30s if I remember correctly. Now he's back to $44.35. Only 8 available on the market. And then for the gold foil, Henchling Enforcer at $7.30, gold foil Grimbarden Smith just under $34, Baron Fiat at $118, and Mantaroth 2 weeks ago was $300. Now he's down to $200. So this is the lowest I've seen this price. So if you're looking for a gold foil Mantaroth, there's only 2 available on the market. One for the $200 price, and then after that it jumps to $334. So I would not be surprised if by the time I do the market watch again in 2 weeks, this card is gone. Maybe this person buys it and then they can set the price and they can set it at $330 just to, undercut this person and make a nice profit. So when you have this few of cards in the market, you can get a lot of movement, and there's actually a lot of opportunity to make a profit in flipping cards. Okay, guys, there you have it. There's part 2 of the Market Watch for July 14th, 2024. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys found maybe some good deals or maybe some cards that you've been thinking about. Maybe you haven't watched the market or looked recently and said, hey, I always wanted to pick up that card. Maybe that's a good price. So hopefully I've helped you find some good deals out there if there are some cards you're looking for. So hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you would like me to add to the Market Watch, or if there are any other topics you would like me to cover. Until next time, stay the course, keep on forging, and have fun. I'll see you soon. Take care.